women. The Chartered Institute of Directors Nigeria held its 2026 Women's Biennial Conference, which provided opportunities for leadership conversation, networking, collaboration among directors, executives, and emerging leaders. As conversations around women's influence, leadership, and representation continue to reshape boardrooms across Africa, the Chartered Institute of Directors, Ciod Nigeria, held its 2026 Women's Directors Biennial Conference in Lagos at the Wale Soyinka Center for Cultural and Creative Arts, Igomu, Lagos.
Welcome you to the Women Directors Biennial Conference.
Put together by the Women's Group of the Institute, the chairperson of the Women's Sectoral Group, Chartered Institute of Directors, Ronke Shokefu, in her welcome address, said the conference seeks to examine advancing female influence in corporate leadership.
Men are no longer asking simply to be included. We are determined to shape outcomes. Presence may open the door, but influence certainly shapes decisions. The true measure of leadership is not whether we sit at the table, but whether our contributions strengthen governance, shape strategy, and leave institutions better than we found them.
It alters the photograph in the boardroom. The photograph will be there in the boardroom, and the woman will just be sitting there, and there's no power. After this meeting, I believe that will change. Wherever every one of us is, in the boardroom, outside the boardroom, in the room, in any office, let your power show. Power of knowledge, power to make decisions, power to see ahead, power to be able to direct as directors.
For too long, the journey of women in the corporate landscape was defined by the struggle for entry and securing a literal seat at the table. Today, we celebrate the fact that our physical presence is becoming an undeniable reality.
The president and chairman of the Governing Council of Ciod Nigeria, who chaired the conference, said expanding women's influence in the boardroom is an urgent commercial necessity for the stabilization of the global economy.
It's not a moral favor. It is about what we ask of corporate capitalism. It is an urgent commercial necessity for the stabilization of the global economy. That is why the theme for this year's conference is an active call to arms. Moving from presence to power means transforming the very culture of the boardroom.
In his keynote address, the former governor of Lagos State and former Minister for Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, who spoke on the theme From Presence to Power, Advancing Women's Influence in the Boardroom, explored the role of women leaders in shaping institutions and economic direction across sectors.
My experience in the public service shows at state level that there were more women than men in the Lagos judiciary and in the senior management at the level of permanent secretary, which was the highest career elevation in the public service. The president here has already told us that in his council of 8, he now has 6 women. And it is still not enough.
Panel discussions by business executives gave participants practical insights into navigating pathways to boardroom leadership, strengthening governance, institution resilience, and leveraging influence to drive strategic outcomes.
Register with CIOG, and this is because when we do, we learn a lot about governance. It has helped me over time, and I think everybody should do that. That's the first thing they should do, actually.
The Biennial Conference brought together leading women in governance, business and public sector, senior executives, policymakers, entrepreneurs, and other thought leaders across sectors.
Wait for something to drop on your laps. You prove yourself. Just like other sectoral chairmen of this institute, I was also appointed a sectoral chairman. But I had a vision, and I'm executing it. You don't just join a board for the sake of making up the numbers. You have to have a drive.
But we are saying beyond having them on the table, They should be able to do a lot in terms of decision making, in terms of making their influence felt, in terms of the power play and dynamics in the boardroom. They should not just be there. They should make significant positive difference.
My take home so far with the speeches is that women directors should not only be on the board, but they should make their voices heard and they should make their power felt. They should leave an indelible mark wherever or whenever they serve on a board.
It's not about numbers alone. The quality of the impact that they have had in shaping our environment, our lives, mentoring, nurturing, and that is very, very commendable power that perhaps we overlook because of the aggressive, risk-taking, competitive edge that men tend to represent, rather than the more cautious, nuanced, and encouraging and developmental contributions that women make.
In advancing women's influence in the boardroom, women have been charged to build capacity, competence, credibility, and courage. Still on conference, the Faculty of Basic Clinical Sciences